prepare us to go live. Okay. Setting it up. And we are now on and popping. Hello, you guys. Welcome to the GH Mini Spotlight. Not GH Report, folks. GH Mini Spotlight. It is the end of Shady Sunday, folks. And we are here and we are going to be talking about the week that was in Port Charles. Yes, and actually a couple of weeks and things. We're doing all kinds of stuff. I'm James Lott Jr., one of your hosts. And of course, this is Old Home Week. And I'll explain to you why she's not here. But first, we have coming all the way from Texas, the big star of Texas, Lucretia Lyon.
Yep, that's me.
And the man down below, where he belongs, amongst all those either DVD, what's going on back there, I don't know what's going on there, Mr. Frank Moran.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, these are just, I used to just cover the smell of the bodies that I have piled here.
I love it. Well, hi, guys, and welcome to another edition of JH Mini Spotlight here on JLJ Media. We are the last show of the Soap Sunday block that we have here. I just want to tell you, in case you didn't know this, Wide Mini Spotlight is out. We're talking about the Miranda-Mariah twin connection. Bold and Beautiful, something happened live to me on air. And so if you want to see what happened to me on air live, watch the B&B Mini Spotlight with Tammy Govea, Amanda Russ, and me. It involves a fire. It's really crazy. All on camera. And then, of course, we had Daytime Today. It was a crazy episode. Then it was Daytime Today with Tammy Govea and Candace Mack talking about all kinds of things in the daytime world. And I engineered that show, and I said a few words in there about my girl, Kristen Alfonso, who's leaving this week on Days of Our Lives. Go ahead and watch that on JLJ Media. Of course, our friends Audition Days. They're over there on Audition Days channel. They have their show today where they're trying out new co-hosts. So we'll see how that all turns out. And next week, I'll be on the show mourning the loss of Kristen Alfonso and Hope Williams-Brady. So I'll be on the show next Sunday, Audition Days, doing that. And then, of course, here we are, face-to-face, a couple of silver spoons. That's right. The three of us are here to talk. Carla Renata cannot be here and will not be here for a while. She sent me a little note, and so she is filming Superstore. They're filming a new season. Without America Ferrera, but they're still filming a new season. And so her call time's a little earlier, so she's busy doing that. She sends her love to all of you, and she will come on. She's welcome on anytime, and she may come back on at some point. Actually, she said, I hate Frank. Just kidding. She's like, it's just Frank Moran. I can't do it. No.
It was implied.
But no, so we wish Carla, it'll be great. I mean, she's working. She's working on a TV show on network. So we love Carla. So she's getting ready. And so I think that's those announcements there. Today is coming out day. So I want to give a shout out to all the people around the world who are gay, maybe not out, maybe some are out. I know in some places it's really hard to do that, but I'm with you. I see you, and I hope for a world where we can love who we love without repercussions. That's kind of the thing I just want to say about that. And bring back some gay characters on General Hospital. God bless America.
Sure.
We're like gay free. Like nobody doing nothing on there. So bring them back on the show. They are part of Port Charles. There's some good ones on there. So that's on there too. Tomorrow's Columbus Day. I have nothing to say about that. And then lastly,
that's when I came here today. It was your hot take.
Columbus Day, right? For Columbus
On
Day.
Columbus Day, yeah.
I mean, all the things he did for America.
At least it's not on my birthday this year. Like it is right. Usually, yeah.
And Lucretia Lyon's birthday is this week, and so she turns 800. But she looks great. Like, happy birthday!
Yeah, I'm a bitch. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm sure you've just
like Rowena McLeod.
I'm gonna call you Tabitha from Passion. It's another story.
All right, I could go with that.
You go with that, right? You go with that. Yeah. Happy birthday to Lucretia. It's your birthday this week. Living in Libra season as we head into Scorpio season. Of course, it's happening. And just lastly, I want to thank. Okay. So here's the deal. I put out a video last week. The report on the GH reports, and a lot of folks were confused, like, why isn't GH report back? Where is AfterBuzz? So I explained it all. Thank you guys for tuning into that video. I mean, it did really well. But I hope that explains everything. That right now, the recaps are here on JLJ Media. There is no AfterBuzz TV at the moment doing shows, and that's what we're doing. We're doing it. I know it's a little confusing, but we've been doing it for the last couple of months, and overnight, once I put that release out, you guys, we got over 1,000 views extra in 24 hours. So I guess you guys are now finding it. So thank you. I mean, me and Frank talked most of that time we were on there. So thanks for tuning into us, Frank.
Right.
So thank you for watching and stuff. And I just know that a lot of you are wondering what's happening. We have no idea what's happening there. None of us are there with them, so we have no idea. But for now, we're bringing you the soapy goodness on this channel, on my show. So check out our episodes. And just remember, we are an opinion show. We do tell opinions. I know there's some folks out there who don't like some of us. Like our opinions. It's a shady Sunday. I really don't care, so you can not like me if you don't want to. That is your right to do that. As we live in America, well, some of us live in America. It's your right to not like me or like us or like our opinions. But we are an opinion show, and we love talking about what we see on the show. And the three of us especially, we like General Hospital. We want it to be better. We want it to be good. So most of our opinions are our own. And actually, some of the insight that I do tell you, I do know because I know the actors and people behind the scenes. So I just want to make sure I get that out. So if you don't like me, that's fine. I will still love you back.
Frank, Marlon Wallace wants to know, is that a Capri Sun?
It's Roaring Waters Capri Sun, everybody.
All right.
Capri Sun, Frank, that is crazy talk. I haven't had one in years.
Yeah. They're too hard.
It's the first time I've had one in forever as well. I'm enjoying the fruit punch wave.
That is hilarious. Are you stealing your daughter's drinks? You're stealing her drinks.
No, those aren't. She doesn't drink them, so it is just. So
that's hilarious.
There you go.
I'll think what's her lunchbox, taking her drinks, taking her Capri Suns.
I always had to take 2 because it's not enough. Like
it's not enough. I agree.
Yeah.
With you. Not enough.
I think that's why the straw is so small, so it makes you have to work harder for it. Mm-hmm.
That's so fun.
And you spill half of it anyway, but getting the straw in, so
it's true.
I hate trying to get that straw. I can never get that straw in there. I'm always punching and poking it, and they're like, why would I go in? So that's why I drink out of these kind of cups with my own straw.
Yeah, I've got a Capri Sun, sure.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I have.
Shine your cheer. I know it's early, but hey, they have them.
We're all try it with vodka, Frank. That's what we can't get the vodka in there. You got to squeeze it out and something else.
A friend of mine actually got drunk on Capri Sun once because they had fermented. Yeah. And then,
All right.
Frank's like,
you can get drunk on Capri Sun.
You also want to know, Frank, what's that bright light behind you? It's a light. It's like a lamp or something.
It's an angel coming
Yeah.
to take me away. Yes.
It's Mike's angel. Now Courtney took him away, and Mike is going to take Frank away.
That's it.
I think it's just real. There's a light reflecting off a mirror in the back. So.
Step into the light, Frank. It's okay.
Bye, everybody.
They're all looking at Frank's background. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so
I
funny.
love you, son. I love you.
Oh my God. And Marlon Wallace, he played off I said, I can't stick it in. And they're like, that's what she said. Yes, exactly. I love it. Okay. So, we had the one emotional week, of course, we talked about. Then we had this week, which was there was some emotion. There was a day of emotions, I would say. There was one day, it was the whole funeral. But a little bit of everything, I feel like, this week. We had some returns. We had some debuts. A bunch of stuff. So what do you guys think about the week? Lucretia, what do you think about the week overall?
I will say, I really enjoyed a lot of stuff this week. This week was a little bit of a lull considering how great some of the other weeks had been, but there was really good stuff in that. Ryan was back, and I like the way that they wove that into the Nicholas and Ava stuff. We had the return of Prince Nicholas, so it's nice to see that side of him again. And, certainly when he came there for Ava and was protective over Ryan. So I really liked that, and I thought the Mike episode was good. And because they had to do that shift, last minute, that was clearly supposed to be Friday. And so it did seem a little weird. But again, I know that wasn't the intention. So I sort of just went with it because we could tell Friday's episode was meant to be Monday, kind of to start anew, which I will say, though, one of the highlights of the week, shockingly, was Jason with Britt. I know.
Okay, Lucretia.
But I loved Jason and Britt. I'm all for that. I thought it was hilarious how she had his number.
Wow, Lucretia making something about Jason. Okay, yeah, no, it was good.
I know, something nice.
Nice. But I will say, no, I agree with you. I figure because of the preemptions last, it did seem a little out of whack a little bit. But I had to think, okay, that's what's going on. But so it's fine. So it's almost like it was a big thing in the middle of the week, and then the end of the week, you're like, oh, okay. So I understand that. Frank, what do you think?
I'm not thrilled about reprises of two storylines I didn't enjoy reading them the first go around, which is the Ned, Alexis, Olivia, which is kind of just a nice redo of the Dante, Lulu, and Valerie weird storyline, which I couldn't stand that when it was first going, and I don't see this one going any better. And then I also do not enjoy the Brooklyn and Amy storyline, which is basically the Amy and Nathan storyline. So we get Amy doing both sides of this part now. So it's just stupid, So super excited in not a great way about those two storylines.
But Amy looked great. Lisa Dorkin is back on the contract. She looked good. I was like, girl, you look good. But yeah, I agree with you on that storyline. So we'll break that down, of course. For me,
just no long singing. I don't want to see like long extended scenes of just Amy just sitting there at a table, just let me sing this song.
They always play her so desperate. I'm like, Jesus, for friends. I'm like, so desperate for friends. Cheese and crackers.
I much prefer her just like as the hospital gossip, which that like a Amy Vining. She is supposed to sort of be that character, but then they make her come off as so dim-witted sometimes, and you're like, I at least understand the reason they're doing this with Brooklyn. And yeah, it's not my favorite storyline either, but it's at least something for her. But like we say, it is sort of a redux of the Nathan thing in a different role. But yeah, the Man Lander stuff was pretty bad.
Remember that, you guys? We were together. We were together during Jay when that was on. I was like, that was just like painful. I mean, there's some things just like, and maybe it sounded good on paper.
Yeah, and at least this doesn't seem that dumb.
I was just like, and it's on paper, I was like, okay. For me, a mixture of both you guys. I kind of like some things this week, some things I wasn't really great about. For me, I'm just so not invested in Molly and TJ, just not invested. I love that Brando's mom Gladys came back. I do
too.
That actress is hilarious.
Yeah, I love that character. She doesn't care.
She don't care.
She's like, they don't like me, whatever.
Woo, they just bugged the crap out of her, out of them. So I didn't like that.
But there's no like graduation with that character at all. It is coming in and I am full on annoying right out of the gate.
Exactly. That's her job. Dustin and Lulu, it's all forced because now Dante's back. I mean, it was just so fun. I love you. Oh, did I say that? I love you. It just seems so forced. The timing part was forced. We saw them together and stuff, but it's like, of course, now you want to move in together, and now Dante's home.
That's the frustrating thing is, and I mean, certainly nobody knew exactly when Dominic was going to be coming back to the show, but I feel like the show doesn't introduce Dustin if somewhere in their back pocket they don't want to play up that whenever he comes back, we want to be able to have some kind of triangle going on. But this is so weak because we've seen so little of Dustin and Lulu that has nothing to do with like, oh, I guess we tried to sleep together, but we couldn't. That's the only thing we've seen out of them. And so that's there's no building of their storyline and the relationship. That I have zero stakes in what happens with this.
Yeah, too much of it is played off screen. I will say they're cute, and I like Mark Lawson. I think the characters had good chemistry. Lulu is a character that has really served well with the new episodes. They've sort of put her in a mini Laura role, which is great. And, these scenes weren't without merit, but yeah, like we say, the timing was just a little on the nose, and we didn't see enough of this buildup.
We did. It's the same with the whole TJ Molly.
TJ Molly,
I just don't care about that either. It's the same thing. We don't see enough of them. They come on.
TJ as a cuck is not interesting.
Yeah, it's like, and we're gonna fight before him, and it's like, are you trying to do like a protest thing because of real life, but not really? Because again, they're not really talking about the real life. Something's going on. I don't think it's that kosher.
And the way that he just like fell apart when Brandon was like, nah, I'm not gonna get involved. Like, what happened? What happened? Why you got to protest with me? What's going on? Oh boy.
And again, we got actors they're pretty good, but we don't have it's just that, I mean, again, like Frank said before many shows, I need to be invested for that.
And like I say, that this TJ and Molly and then Dustin and Lulu, they're trying to get us to invest now, but this is when we needed to be invested before. I mean, I do see them trying to right these wrongs. We are getting more of it. And that's one thing I will say. I do feel like they answer our prayers or whatever, but it's a little too late for some of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll give them points. I mean, some of these storylines, they're starting to go full speed. I mean, like Dante's home. Mm-hmm. He saw Sunny. He saw, we were trying to Lulu stories. Like, they're not taking forever. Thank God, right, Frank? Where they do 5 weeks of him lurking around and it's Lucy. Oh my, they're not doing that at least. Like, oh, Jesus. So I'm happy about that. So I'm like, if they keep boom, 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 I'll take that. I mean, I will totally take that. That's fine. Well, because what's about the funeral? That'd be the last thing we'll talk about. That was a whole separate episode. I want to mention some folks. Some folks didn't like my comments about the Monica situation and Leslie Charleston, because I just said people thought she wasn't on because of COVID, and I said no, it's because they don't use her. We had a lot of Monica this week, which I'm so happy. Leslie Charleston is the longest running member of General Hospital. She's been on there since 1977, off and on. So I'm so glad she's back, and I keep trying to tell people. There's certain characters that have a large cast, first of all, but there's certain characters they just don't play as much, and we wish we saw more of them. So I'm glad we got lots of Monica back this week, and it also it's good to and see her with Ned, them evoking Tracy.
Yeah.
Going.
I like that. Yeah.
More Quartermaines. We keep saying that every time, all the time. I'm for it.
And we're getting them. Yeah. And that's one thing I will say, that the Quartermaines have been heavy since we've come back. And I do feel like some of this was obviously even planned. So they are listening, and you do see this resurgence. That's why there was this whole conversation about Tracy. And even Olivia talks about, oh, no wonder you feel this way, because, in bringing up history with Edward and Lila and Tracy and Luke, and we are getting that. So that's why I'm like, no, I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds.
But she also mentioned Patrice LeSueur. I was like, oh, they went there. They went there too. I mean, the writers were like picking out some history. I was like, yes. Let's talk about history. Let's make it relatable to today.
Yeah, I mean, the one, I enjoyed all the scenes between Ned and Monica, but the thing it's great to invoke Tracy for sure. But I also, doubtful that Jane Elliott, what are her schedule? Maybe she's retired, semi-retired. How often she may pop in. I mean, she's done it once, but don't know. That's something I as a viewer, banking on as a kind of even like a semi-frequently sort of thing. So I just wish in that scene that Monica would have wrapped it up and said, "You either take care of it, or I'm going to take care of it." Like Monica, like, I'm here. I'm the matriarch of the ELQ, the Quartermaine family. So if you're not going to run it, I'm gonna take care of it. I want to see Monica stepping into that instead of just threatening the possible return of Tracy, which I doubt is going to happen.
Right. Hello, chat room. There's 36 people watching. Thank you. It's more than a little bit last time. So thank you so much for joining us this Sunday evening. I know you have many choices. We're glad you're here with us. And I'm seeing like us. Yes, I'd love to have an African-American mob boss. Sure, why not? I'd love that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that in a second. Yeah, talk about that. Okay, yes. Another person who joined, and the character has returned, but it's a new person playing the character, and she has ties to people already there. Jackie Templeton is back, bitches. Last played in the 80s by Demi Moore. I'm actually on GH, another show I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about her history, so you'll look out for that. But she is here. The whole introduction with Lulu, I kind of liked, because she was a reporter back then, so I love that she came on the essence of Lulu calling her and Luke. I love that. I love the introduction.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I mean, other than just knowing, maybe seeing like stills and maybe an occasional clip, I think, of Demi Moore back in the role. I really don't know much about the character in context of the show. So, I mean, I look to you, James, as the resident historian, in terms of how great it is to have a character like that back in on the canvas. Was she a great character over the time?
Well, see, I thought that was inspired because they have such a rich history that because she was only on for a couple of years back in the 80s, they could literally write her story. And it's like, it's kind of for longtime fans, it's a chance to go, oh yeah, I remember that name. And again, they remember Demi Moore. It was because there's Laura, Jenny Francis that left the show. This was on Bare Essence or something back then in prime time, back in the day, in the 80s. And so then she came on looking for her sister, Laura Templeton. So that's why she's a reporter looking for it. And so she got into lots of hijinks with Holly and Roberts and Luke, and there's a whole thing. So they did a great use of history on that. Oh, yeah, side note, yes, the camera focused on Olivia's shoes. I don't know what that was either. I don't know if that was a mistake they just didn't catch. Or that was on purpose. I know that was a weird thing.
Like,
yes,
if Monica was afraid, like afraid that Monica would be like, "Why do you have your shoes off in my house?"
Yeah, or something. It was really weird. What's her shoe? I was like, I thought maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. That was kind of weird. But it's a character they can actually play with. They can do whatever they want with it, and they decided to because she is the stepmother to Finn, mother to Chase.
Yeah, I really like this because I wasn't alive when Jackie Templeton was on.
Okay.
I had only,
Okay,
I was like, shame.
I'm done.
But
I'm done. I'm like, okay, yes.
But yeah, I did know Demi Moore was on there, and I'm like, oh, this is that character. So there is all this interesting history that I've kind of gone in to look up. And what a great way to sort of really put Chase in more of a leading man role, because I think a lot of us feel like Josh Wicker could really do that. And this is tying him to real GH history. And two, possibly we get the reveal with some of these scenes with Jackie and with Finn that we've all suspected a long time, that them kind of going back and seeing that maybe Finn is Chase's dad.
Yes. Oh, I'll side note for folks and people in the chat, we're giving some history of Jackie. Her sister was played by Janine Turner, who later went to Northern Exposure fame. I used to love that show. So they were the sisters on the show, but they didn't last that long. It was a big casting thing, and they didn't last that long. But anyway, a little side note. Yes, I now I'm interested. Yeah, now I'm kind of, because I can care less about this whole wedding thing. Well, if I talk about Anna one more time,
I love Anna, but no.
Get your stepmother and get your. I'm like, who cares? Why do they have? I wrote this down. Who's the 239 people come to this wedding?
Yeah,
239. Even he's like, who's coming? I mean, it's just like I'm like, yeah, Michael Easton. I'm thinking the same thing. Who's coming to his wedding? I mean, I don't understand. I mean,
Michael Easton in that scene was all of us. I loved what a sarcastic, jerk he was in a lot of ways, but we loved it because I think we're all at this point where it's like nobody wants them together. We want Anna with Valentine, right? I mean, they're finally picking that back up, and then Finn, he's got a lot of options. I mean, we prefer Hayden to come back, but as a couple, they just don't really work, and we're just not invested. So we'll see where this goes. But
yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, so now I'm kind of invested now. I mean, I love Josh Wicker. I mean, I would marry him in 2 seconds. I love him, so I want him to be a leading man. I'm all in. I'm everything. He's everything to me. I wouldn't mind seeing him step up a little bit. Michael Easton's always the bomb. He's always good. I mean, good at everything he does. So I mean, I love him. But yeah, I was like, we're going to see having scenes where they trot him out, talk about the wedding. I'm like. Like, move him back to the hospital, have him do stuff over there. That's where we need him, not over here talking about the wedding. So that's inspired choice writers. The writers actually got me on that. I was like, okay, there's a little interconnection and stuff. So, but the whole thing, because Lulu as a reporter, just like, but this made me a little excited if they work together a little bit. And the problem with this Lulu, and it's not the actress. I mean, Robin's fine. It's not her. It's the writing. They didn't make her Spencer enough. Julie Marie Berman, who played Lulu before, was very Spencer. And to completely, it's just like, why isn't she more Spencer-like? Like, where's the Spencer part? So that's the part that bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah, I've seen it more now than in the last few years, for sure, though. I will say, since we've come back from the break, that she has had more very Spencer-esque scenes.
They're all, and maybe Anna will invite her friends from Pine Valley. That's we were going to do that.
Kelly from PEI points out, because there was a scene that somebody even put on Twitter where Shiloh mentioned knowing Jackie Templeton, because Sam's like, oh, you knew Jackie Templeton? Oh, yeah, she did this story. So I wonder if that will come back.
If the writers are good, and they could do some, work some stuff in there. I mean, like, again, I was happy with this other writing notes. They made Ryan Chamberlain come back, which I always love seeing some John Lindstrom doing it. And they tied in the Nell piece. They took the friendship. I had no idea they were going to send the letter to him. A long time ago, I didn't even thought of that. And that was not even in the realm of my thoughts. So when he got it, and he called up Ava, and now we know, I guess a year has passed. I guess time has passed. We didn't know it passed. It was like, oh, okay. And him just torturing Ava, I love their banter back and forth. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, Maura West and John Lindstrom just work so well off one another. And Ryan is just such a good villain. And to me, to tie this all in, and we're finally seeing Nicholas, be the prince he can be in here. So that's great. And I like that the game is her to save her brother or her marriage and the money. Like, there's a lot at stake. So they have done a good job of raising the stakes. And I just love Nell, even in her last breath, is just like, screw Julian, I'm giving this letter. I love that. And then I love that she sent it to Ryan, which I was like not expecting it, but then it made total sense.
Frank, what do you think?
Well, if it's going to finally let us move on and past scenes of Julian creep reading that letter that Nell wrote him, how many times do you need to read it, Julian? There's nothing going to be different any other time.
Oh, that's funny.
Let me look away and just read it for a second. Okay. Great. So, just so somebody can come up and give, what you reading there, huh?
Yes, exactly.
But no, it's it's always nice seeing Ryan. I mean, that's the one reason I'm glad that they didn't kill him off, that you could just put him in put him in prison and just keep him there as a little time bomb to release whenever you wanted to put him in. And so like now it's a good moment. And so in terms of the Nicholas and Ava storyline, this is good because I feel like it puts an external force on who's gonna maintain this marriage. Are they gonna maintain this marriage? You needed, I think, enough of a reason to force Ava to leave this marriage than just like, oh, is Nicholas softening? Maybe I'm falling in love with him. So it's nice to have another factor in the mix as well.
I agree. Actually, I agree with that. I think, just John Lynch is just so good as Ryan and as Kevin. He's so good at both of these. Yeah. I will take whatever storyline just to have him on screen. I think he's so good. But this did work for me. This completely worked, and I'm curious to see what happens. I'm curious to see what and I loved it when she first got the phone call and Julian and Nicholas were standing behind her, both concerned. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, he's concerned. It's like, this is weird. And the way that Ryan talked to Nicholas, like, a Cassadine, really? Like, it's just like, it was so, she goes, well, at least he has two hands. I was like, oh my God, this dialogue is hilarious. I was totally laughing. Yeah. At least
he knows how to use it.
He knows how to use it. Ryan was like, oh, okay, girl. He was like, okay. But when Nicholas showed up, he was pissed. He was angry, and she knew it too. She knew that he was like, that got to him. But I'm like,
And he said the perfect Princey line, "As you wish."
As you wish, exactly.
Sorry, always loving girl. That was good, But I love the Cassadines, as we know. So
yeah, me too.
I don't understand the hate.
So Anna's character was on AMC. She had family on there. Does she have the rights to them? Do JH have the rights to them? I don't think they do. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't think they do.
Do we really need Aiden Devane though? Yeah.
The cousin, Aiden Devane. Yeah. I don't really. But anyway, so I thought that was good. We also had another return. Well, she came back the week before, but now we got more storyline. Dr. O, our friend Kathleen Gotti. Love Kathleen. Her scenes with Homeboy at the clinic. As an actress, I just watch her as an actress. She's so good. She can change emotions. With that accent and everything, we know she'll talk like that for real. All that, she had to think about the accent, the emotions, the this, the that, and the moving, the blocking, everything. They were so good together. I loved it.
Yeah, I really like that we have Christopher Cousins, Kane Rogan on the show.
Kane Rogan,
And I love that he's in love with Dr. O. So now she's sort of in the Faison role. So yes, it's sort of like the Manlanders, but in a good way, where we're using something from the past and sort of flipping the roles to see, because it's like, I've always wanted Ulbrich to find love. I actually would have actually maybe liked Jax if he was with her.
I know. I know. I like them together.
But yeah, now she's got. Christopher Cousins looks pretty good. I love it. I think it's funny, but it's villainy enough, and it's perfect campy villain that I like. That's what makes GH what it is.
And and we got now Dante is being he's being drugged and programmed to go after Peter. Frank.
No, that's true, and it's what I like about it is, Ulbrich she's done many shady deals in the past and stuff, but this time you can actually root for her because she was done wrong by Peter, set up for stuff that wasn't her fault at all. So she is looking for payback. So you're on as much as you can be on Ulbrich's side. You are rooting for her to succeed on this. Of course, she's going to take it a little too far in her quest for vengeance, and so with the the manipulation that she's had performed on Dante. So I guess the doc is gonna just be standing around him all the time and double clicking that pen just to like, yes, I must complete the mission. I must. So that'll.
Well, Frank, villains don't think they're villains. Remember, they think they're, they think that
they're the hero of their own story.
Exactly. That's something about superheroes. I mean, the villains don't think they're villains. They're justified in why they're doing what they're doing. So they go a little too far, and people get hurt and die. But that's beside the point. I was wrong.
Yeah.
So I got to get back. And so Dr. O, I mean, I get it. He got her. I mean, he got her. He did.
Yeah, so it'll be curious because I mean, and I looked at it. She knows that it's Peter. It's not like she's not deliberately lumping Anna into this, thinking that Anna had a part of it. But she does realize that Anna has a blind spot with Peter and will go out of her way to just protect him. And even her saying that, her words in defense of Peter is what got me into the situation as well too. So it's not malicious, but she knows that she's got to get rid of Anna as well.
That's true. And then on the side over here, Holly's alive, folks.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Emma Samms looking great. She alive, being held captive. So they don't think she's dead. I know everybody in here was like, "Where's our Ethan?" I know she could have stayed longer, but it was like, but she's also, so that's still out there also. So Robert, I like Robert and Finn. I like whenever Robert and Finn talk anyway.
Yeah.
That was kind of a fun scene. But it's just kind of like, and Finn brought something. It was kind of like, take from Holly's death. I mean, how much more do you want to be in this situation where you're just like going? But Robert knows. I mean, it's classic. It's classic story. He knows he's crying. Everybody thinks he's crying wolf or whatever, and he's not. He's like, there's something really wrong with this guy. I mean, Heinrich, and it's like it's not. Nobody calls him Heinrich. It's like he knows something is wrong with him.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice because I mean, I feel like with whatever's going on with Emma Samms and her real life issues and also the world issues in terms of getting here, it's gonna be a while before we actually see her physically in the flesh on GH. So I feel like giving that to viewers was nice, saying no, the storyline's not dead completely, but it's gonna be on the shelf for a while. So we can now just move Robert to just being with Jackie Templeton and explore that for a while and see where that goes.
If I say that in here,
yeah,
and then
it's Robert, Eskimo Brothers again.
There you go.
Exactly right. Exactly. I.
And when the time's right, you open up the box that is Holly Sutton when everything comes into play. So hopefully time's well.
So is Emma in Europe right now? Is she in England right now? Is that going on?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's why she can't. Okay, that's why she can't come on. Okay, that makes sense.
But I was bummed. I mean, I was excited to have Ethan on the show, but I really hoped that we would have seen a little bit of some Port Charles reunions, just to have him on the airplane and then just take off from there. Felt very
weird.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of that?
I agree.
That was disappointing.
And of course, we have the piece of paper that Cyrus handed to Jordan. We don't know what file or whatever. It's a file he needs from her. It's all tied in. It's all tied in. They're really setting up Cyrus. They really are trying to get him, because he's trying to get Julian on his side for a reason and had him, and that's just not. And where did Julian go? Like, where did he go? Like, all of a sudden, where is he? What's going on?
He's in his back office weeping, I guess.
Yeah.
Or he can't catch a break. He can't catch a break.
Yeah.
He just can't. So I thought that was very interesting. That it's like he's really going after this, and so we got some Trina and Cyrus scenes, and and Trina and Ava, of course. Ava now has confused her with like, use that anger, now she's getting the boys, and that's okay. So I'm kind of like, I guess it's a teen thing, I guess.
Yeah.
The whole Cameron, Cameron likes both of them. Dev is not asexual. He actually likes Josh. I mean, I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll leave for the kids.
I really think it would have been better that if Deb was asexual or he liked Cameron too.
Yes.
To give some sort of breakup with, what's going on. But now it's just almost like a Midsummer's Night Dream. I mean, it's cute. It's Shakespearean like they used to do when they were really little. But
yes,
we really are missing Spencer in all of this. And I know we keep saying that. And I know COVID. But still, this would be more interesting with Spencer.
And also, I'm kind of like, don't mess up the friendship between Trina and Jocelyn.
Yeah, because I love them.
Yeah, me too.
And they're just such good young talents too, with Cameron, Trina, Joss. Yeah. Like, I like this group.
We don't name check Dev. I'm a huge Dev fan at all. So Dev can go away. So having him like
shady.
that character's been the piece at the beginning. And so now to have like looking at Jocelyn's writing journal. So, and I did like that they just had that really awkward scene of her describing in detail where exactly she put that writing journal to Carly, just so Dev can conveniently hear it. I went downstairs and walked 10 feet. Then I turned to my left, to the second shelf, and there was this box. And then I knelt down and I opened it up. Oh boy, come on now.
Yes. And all the mothers talking to each other about their kids. And that's all weird. I'm like, I don't talk to the other mothers about my children's dating lives. I just don't do that. And I was just like, I don't mind the Carly Joss talk that was doing, but when the mothers like, and then my son and your daughter, and I'm like, nobody talks like that.
So what do you do first in there? Do you, as Jocelyn, do you talk to Trina first and come clean, or do you talk to Cam first and find out what the deal is?
Well, the soap world, we go to Cam first. But I would say go to Trina. Girl, this is what done happened. You know, and then they just duke it out or whatever. I mean, I just think that they're going to try to do the whole Cameron. They keep it a secret. She feels bad about it. Like, so I mean, I get it too. That's fine. That's regular soapy stuff, I guess. I can't. Too mad on that, of course.
We can. It's our show. We can get mad.
We do whatever the fuck we want. That's right. We'll get mad at it. We'll get mad at it. That's right, Frank. I don't know, but Alexis had me busting up.
Oh yeah, with her big vodka bottle. Girl, get a flask.
Okay. Okay. So me and Lucretia are saying, I wrote this down seriously right here. I wrote down, girl, get a flask first, not that big bottle. I wrote that down here.
Great minds.
I got 10,000 flasks laying around. I have them in little bags and stuff.
Yeah. Like you get those free at Scotch events.
Hello. And so
any good alcoholic knows how to go to the free
that
Scotch
bottle
event
was huge.
Flask. Yeah.
Exactly. That bottle was huge. I was just pulling it all out. It's a whole gallon up or whatever.
She didn't even buy the behind the counter. She just did a full, full handle of vodka. And to me, it's like, why'd you dump out the club soda and then put the vodka in? It's like, girl, put it in there. This is alcoholic 101.
Exactly. Exactly. Then I'm thinking, does nobody smell her breath? Because we don't see her like taking a Tic Tac or nothing. So I'm like, does anybody not tell me she's been drinking? But she was acting so awkward and weird. I kind of loved it. I was just like, okay, Alexis. She was like,
I love Nancy in this. Like, messy Nancy is the best. So
it is. And Olivia saw it.
You're doing that, but also with a cast on one of your hands.
I know.
So like you're using that you can't really get full faculty of that one hand. Come on now.
I know.
Yeah. Let's get it together.
And Olivia saw it, so now we got that going. And Ned, I'm like, so like you said earlier, we got a Ned, Lexus, Olivia triangle coming up now. So I mean, which I didn't see coming. Actually, I didn't see that coming. Actually,
I feel like they sort of switched it last minute to go more with history with Ned, and to be honest, it does make the most soapy sense. And I did like their bringing up their history and all that. Like, yeah, we weren't Sonny and Brenda or Jax and Brenda, but we were this great couple. And it does sort of fit them, Ned sort of going in this downward spiral, but Olivia being the saint she is. So even if they do break up for a time being, I don't feel like it'll be permanent because they are sort of the matriarch and patriarch in the good sense. But yeah, I like that they went this direction because I like messy Ned. Ned has always been the good boy. So it's kind of nice to see him be a little bit bad.
So where does Robert come in all this?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Robert and Olivia were getting closer. I mean, but now Jackie's in town and he's looking at her with his meaty chops. I mean, I don't know if he thinks Holly's dead. So
they're finally realizing who the hotties are on this show. You know, we've always had Robert over here, no women fighting over him in a long time. Or you've got Valentine. I mean, we're starting to just continue to Kim test him. Finally, I think they're going to go somewhere with Anna. But I mean, maybe he just gets twins there. I don't know. They finally realized that these people, the older guys are the hot ones.
I don't know, guys. I'm torn on this because it's as much as I love giving Ned and Olivia more storyline. I don't know. Do I want a retread of Quartermaine history where there's a lot of the philandering ways of either Ned back in the day or Edward and his notorious philandering? Do I want that just continued on in this current generation and Ned is doomed to repeat the Quartermaine cycle of just philandering? Do I want that out of the storyline, or do I want the issues between Ned and Olivia? They can have issues, but it is something else that is not of a philandering nature. And I'm torn how I want my 2020 version of GH addressing, troubles within a relationship to be.
Yeah, I don't think it's an ongoing thing, at least, because to me, Ned feels guilty. It wasn't what he thought was going on with Olivia and Robert. So I at least like that this doesn't seem to be Ned going to continue to go on the Lexus behind Olivia's back. Now, if they do break up, maybe they continue something, but I at least don't think it'll be much more of a philandering nature, as you put it.
Yeah, I for me, it's just using veterans. I love seeing veterans. So let's just throw some Lucy in there and get some Mac on there. Like, I mean, to me, it's like, that to me makes me happy that there's a bunch of different things kind of going on, and they're all with veterans. I'm like, why not? A mature person.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be curious because, like, with Olivia, when she found out that Sonny cheated on her, that was it. It was donezo right there. So now when it comes to, I mean, but they weren't married, but they were still involved. But now that, she's married to Ned, as soon as this comes out, is it a donezo thing? Do we see them trying to work through this?
I don't know.
Well, because there is a big difference in, because she even understood what Ned felt because of his bad examples. And I like, again, because Olivia's a saint. But yeah, like, I do feel like she's in a place to forgive Ned because what they have is much more than her and Sonny ever had. And to be fair, him sleeping with his ex, who was also in a bad place as he was, is a little bit more understandable than banging a woman you hate on a guy who just killed's grave. Like,
Sonny, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think if they do it correctly, it could be very intriguing. If they do, I mean, this whole mosh pit of people, it could be good.
Yeah.
But I feel like Frank half the time, like, oh yeah, they'll follow through or not. But I hope they do. I mean, it could be some good stuff. Whereas I like big umbrella stories. I like chain reaction stories, like where little piece of everything's happening to everybody. I mean, if they can do it correctly, I'm in. I mean, if they do it right, I'm in. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, part of me is like seeing forward in time where the disintegration is going to happen just as Wally Kurth's work picks up on days. So it's a great excuse to have Ned leave for a while because he's busy on days, so we won't get to see him for a large chunk of time, and then come back, and then we find out, and then Olivia kind of maybe disappears for a little bit too. Who knows? But Dante's around, so maybe that doesn't change. But we don't see it for chunks of time, and then Ned pops up again when he's available again. So I don't know. Not knowing that he's going to be reliably on the show just makes me question how well the storyline will go.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's part of it. Here's part of storylines I don't care for. In the segment called "I Just Don't Care About That," we got Brando, Jason, Sonny. They're trying to put this whole thing where he goes undercover for Cyrus. I'm like, okay, I guess it's a regular mob storyline, I guess. I mean, I have really not much to say about that. What say ye?
Yeah. All of the wooing that Cyrus is doing for Brando. I mean, and we've got Brando. Everybody loves Brando. I get the guy's a cutie, and I do kind of hope they figure out what to do with him. But just like a lot of other characters, okay, where are we going? I see the chemistry with him and Sam, and if we're gonna have Jason and Britta, we should break them up. Sorry, Sam fans. I mean, I just don't care. But yeah, who knows? Because Brando's just a younger Jason. Maybe Jason, and then he goes with what people refer to Britta, which I don't agree, as a Sam bot. Because let's face it, makes Julian super creepy. But I at least like that they don't even pretend like they're father and daughter that like each other anymore. That's great. But this is supposed to be about Brando, not Julian. Brando, even I didn't care.
Exactly. It's like, I mean, he's hot actor, everything and stuff. I'm just like,
and he's a good actor. Yeah.
I like the scenes with Dev. I thought that's kind of cool, actually. This whole faux Father's Sunday, but they actually kind of bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, with Brando, it's again one of those things where we've not seen enough about Brando to realize why Cyrus has such a bee in his bonnet.
Yeah.
Wanting Brando in his bonnet. I mean, because other than being good with cars and motorcycles, that we really see nothing else. And I guess he's good with a gun.
Cyrus likes a guy who's good with his hands, eh?
I guess so. I mean, it makes it weird to see why Cyrus is so I mean, I can understand if he was like going relentlessly after Jason, like trying to woo him over. Then it makes sense because you know how vital Jason is to Sonny's corporation. But with Brando, it's like, yeah, he's just a guy who runs a auto shop. But the other point is, I guess you could, by having Brando around as kind of like a sort of like a Jason Light-esque character, is that you can put him in some cool storylines and then kill him off because there's really no, but still have Jason around. So I mean, I could see Brando getting involved in the storyline and not making it out alive, and it not being a huge loss to the show.
Right.
Yeah, because there'll be the guilt of Sonny, because Sonny seems to care about him because they are family in a way. So it's like, okay, like this is an expendable character, and with this big umbrella mob storyline, they are going to have some people who die or lose a limb or something. So
yeah.
I was not a fan of the Goose Years. I wasn't into the mob storylines. I just was not into that stuff. So I mean, for me, I'm like, I know because he's a mobster, allegedly. This is part of the story.
He sells coffee, right?
Yeah, he sells coffee. Coffee.
I agree with Roller Kate Skate and Kay, Coco, and One that they want Rick back. I agree. I love me some Rick Lansing.
Yeah, same here, but they're not bringing him back. Not that we know of. I love to have him back. I love to have him back.
Yeah.
He's great because he's got the nice horn rimmed glasses now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he looks nice.
He has the gray hair. He's all hair. He's working it out. But no, I'm not bringing him back. I'd love to have him back. They ain't doing it for some reason. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Let's see what little thing. I think did we catch everything? Like, we had the whole Cyrus, Curtis little showdown. I got a little turned on. That's another story. I was like, that's right, Curtis. You watch out for your wound. He was like, but I got to give him points. So he walked in. He's like, oh yeah, Curtis, don't ever threaten me again. He just kind of sauntered off into the darkness. I was like, oh, okay. But Curtis is like, oh, I want to get him so bad, but like, don't do it. Don't do it.
If they got to make Curtis a vital part of the storyline. If they chump him out at the end, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
I agree. But they are having him in scenes, and Stella, of course, was still there because of the funeral, and so I like those scenes together. And I guess the last big thing that happened, I think it's been an hour already. It's so weird. The last big thing that happened was actually the day of the funeral, which they tried some, as Frank and I have been noticing, they've been trying some different camera things and camera tricks.
Oh yeah,
I know they're trying some stuff, but I have to say the funeral wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all, and everybody said things that seemed like I forgot about Jason saying, "Yeah." I mean, when I first came, like, "Oh yeah, that's right." Way back in the day, when played by Ron Hale, he was nice to you. I mean, so I thought it was actually a fine funeral. I mean, that's a weird thing to say, but I mean, that's.
Yeah, I really liked that, Christina was there and they did acknowledge that, because I know that people were upset. But again, guys, COVID, there is a lot that has to go to them getting to work. So we don't know what's going on. So it was nice of them to have her there. And I actually really liked that Elizabeth and Ava spoke, and like their stories were genuine, and that we had that nice moment between Sonny and Carly and Ava about Avery, because Ava has been good to them during all of this, because she did care about Mike, and that was Avery's grandfather. And we're seeing a piece there because it was getting tired, these grown-ass women fighting over this cute little girl. So it's nice to see that we've moved on from that.
I agree.
And then I loved Liz coming up, even though I'm sorry, Kelly from PEI, no liaison. No, never, ever again.
Out of this whole story, storyline, the only two, I say 2.5, maybe 3. Character pairings that I cared about, where if you'd see Mike and Sonny, and them having a nice heart-to-heart. Not when Mike is at the end, where he's, do you want to go to a Yankee game? I don't know. Just tell me. Give me a sign. I didn't care about that stuff.
You have ice in your veins, Frank Moran.
I am. I'm dead inside. So dial it back a little bit before in the Mike storyline. Anything with Stella and Sonny, I enjoyed. And then I'll even throw in for a Liz and Sonny. I
like those.
The main through line to that is all Maurice Benard. So, I mean, he did some great stuff on this. And so even for somebody that was like, this storyline's gone way too long, I am glad that they at least brought Max Gill back to do a little farewell with Sonny, as opposed to it being just with Courtney and just kind of going off. that it got one last little button there with Sonny.
Yeah, Maurice Benard did a great job through this whole storyline. That's even Lucretia said that. I mean, like, that's, you know, that hell must have froze over, or he did a good job for Lucretia to say that. But he did. His performance was very understated. It really was. It was over the top. He didn't chew any scenery. He literally just gave a real, very honest performance, I thought. It was very honest. Somebody mentioned about Christina not speaking. I'm just going to side note there. Dallas came back and did 3 seasons on TNT that version, and in real life, Larry Hagman died, and so they had to do the whole JR's farewell, and it was a beautiful episode. The episode was beautiful, but people were upset because John Ross didn't speak, and I said sometimes there's some folks who just can't do it. That's like in real life, they just can't. So I imagine Christina was that type where she just couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm not a writer. I don't know if I'm not a writer of the show. That was a reasoning.
That fits her personality.
I thought that's why I was kind of going with that. I think that's probably the reason why she didn't. But I like that she was holding, and her arms were locked with her father the whole funeral. Like they were really. Lexi Ainsworth, Emmy winner, of course. She's such a good actress too. Need more of her. But there were some touches I saw that he did that I liked, and there's a moment when. One of them, I forgot who was speaking, and Sam looked at Liz.
Yeah, it was very much that, and I'm like, guys, I know we're playing here, but stop. The Sam Liz rivalry is it's tired. I mean, no,
They looked at each other. So
the fact that these women fight over Jason is bad enough, but like, Sam is a character that really needs a reset, and maybe we're getting that because they certainly started dressing her in a more respectable manner. So we'll see where this goes. I always have faith that they could do something nice, but we'll see.
I agree. She shows up at the Metro Court for the party afterwards, and she's all up on Jason's butt about like, oh, well, you're not telling me anything. What's going on with Brando and you? What's happening? And then she's so nosy with Alexis. Why were we sleeping? Why did you sleep? Oh, dang.
Well, yeah, it's not like Dr. Byrne just died. I mean, that was sort of the scene with Alexis was a little weird because it was like,
I kept laughing.
It was normal for her to be upset
and she's got brittle bones now, Sam.
Yeah.
Little bird bones.
That's why I was laughing. Just like, just lost a man. Maybe she didn't want to come to another funeral so soon. I'm like, girl, come the fuck up. Like that kind of bugged me too, but I'm like, Lindsay Hartley, where are you?
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud? But no, someone else brought us a thing in here too. Andy Goen, I will actually defend the choice that why they didn't bring Dante back for the funeral. I feel like if he came back, it would overtook the whole scene.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. He should have been there. But Spencer didn't know Mike that well. That's why Spencer.
Yeah.
They mentioned that also. He wasn't there. But I just felt like if Dante came back, the whole thing would have been about Dante returning and not about Mike dying. So I kind of get the logistical thing of that, the optics of that. That's why I get it.
And the way that
no.
Good. I was just going to say the way they had him show up at the end for Sonny was just great. Like the way they did that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You emotional moments. You get the Sonny Mike, which is always great wrap up, and then you get just a little extra tweak at the end.
Yeah.
I did. I thought it was fine also, but I get what you're saying. I mean, it would have been nice if he came back. See, you would have had to either come back before that, and then the funeral happens. But he couldn't come back during the funeral. It just would have broken. I could tell they really wanted to showcase the funeral separately, and that's why it was his own episode. And they really put a lot into this episode, to this storyline. So I think that was the reason why they kind of said, okay, standalone episode. It's all about Mike. That's that. And Renee Watson, I just love her. I mean, every time she speaks with Stella, she can read the phone book, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. I actually love Aunt Stella. I love that she knows what's up. Like with Curtis and Trina, with Portia.
She did. With Portia, like okay. It's like, I just think it's, oh my God, I love it. But I love that because Donnell Turner talked about this with me on an episode once. Even though when he goes off on his aunt, he always goes back and apologizes right away. And that's very much a thing that if you're from the South or if you're Black or something, you would never go off your mother, aunt, somebody like that. You just would never do that. There's always a level of respect no matter what. And I love that he said, I told them I couldn't just do that and walk off. I mean, at least that's how I do things, and so I love that. They're like a real family, and I love that Jordan and Stella. They love each other. They work through some stuff, but there's still little twins and stuff going, which is fine. It's not 100%.
Stella doesn't mind throwing shade about Jordan's police work.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what
I
love.
loved
Like,
it. Yes, I loved it.
Thank you, sweetie.
But there's something about Maurice Benard and Sonny specifically in scenes with strong women, whether it's Stella or whether it's Epiphany, people who know their stuff and aren't going to back down against a reported mob boss. And I feel like Sonny as a character just gets an enormous amount of respect from people that'll just tell it to him straight and aren't going to just kowtow to his reputation.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I love those scenes when he has with Epiphany or with Stella, and sort of it was like how he was with Patrick Drake as well, not even just women. Those people that would stand up to him, even though they knew who he was, there was this level of respect. And, certainly I love how understated Stella was in this whole storyline, but she really cared for Mike. And Bernie that woman should definitely get an Emmy for some of this.
Yeah, she did it. One person I was surprised wasn't there was Felix.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because he was part of this whole storyline. He was part of it. And I'm surprised he just wasn't. Maybe it was some COVID thing, but I was surprised he wasn't there.
Maybe he's knocking boots with Lucas. Who knows?
We can only hope, folks. We can only hope, people. Let's get the storyline there going. Cheese and crackers. I'm like, another great actor. I mean, come on, they're all good actors. You just give them some jobs. But I know it's a large cast. Again, I always say there. We got to rotate them out. So for all the ones we don't see, we got these other ones we're seeing. I'll take a Robert. I'll take a John Lindstrom. I'll take a Leslie Charles. I'll take those if I can get them. A little less Willow, but that's another story. I'm sorry, I didn't mention Willow and Chase Willow and Monica this week, or Willow and Carly this week, or Willow and Michael. That character for me, I'm losing interest.
Well, my thing with her is we've had her so much, and they've again, sort of like with Brando or other people, they didn't know what to do with her. And it's to a point where the actress is good. She's great. Caitlin McMullen. We should let her go crazy, because that's the only direction you can take this character to where we can have any interest. Because I see that she can play that. It's sort of like with Nina. I see that coming, and let's have that, because nobody cares. I mean, there's a reason they call Michael and Willow mildew, and they've sort of grown on me. I've learned to accept it, sort of like Michael and Sabrina, where it's like, okay, if they're together, they're over there, they're doing their own thing, and I don't really have to worry. The more interesting people are up front. But it's one of those that she's not a real person yet, and so it's hard to invest in her.
True. All she is somebody who cares way too much about Wiley.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
that's insane. Yeah.
That's all she can talk about. I got to just talk about Wiley. I'm just going to talk about Wiley.
Yeah.
Like, oh, please talk to me about anything else. Anything.
I'm sorry, right now, fireworks are going off. Like fireworks in my whole neighborhood. And I'm like, it's not 4th of July. Tomorrow's Columbus Day. My brother just texted me, he goes, there's fireworks. I go, yeah, there's fireworks going off in our whole neighborhood right now.
You're celebrating you, Junior.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't have to. I stop it. You don't have to celebrate me. Okay. Oh my God, this is so good.
Also,
sorry, go ahead.
Storylines that I don't care about. The Sasha storyline, you gotta hit the gas on the storyline, because I'm tired of seeing Sasha walking around all skittish, whether it's in the hospital or out in Port Charles somewhere. Just hit the gas and get me where this next beat of the storyline's going, because I can't take it anymore.
And I feel like Sasha, much like Brando, is sadly put in this position to be an expendable character in this umbrella storyline, because not only is it a mob storyline, but it's a drug storyline. So I think we are looking for a death of Sasha, but it's sad because I would have rather had Sasha than Willow. And I feel like Sasha could have been a character connected to somebody else on the canvas, because, I mean, and again, no offense, both actresses are great. It's just Sasha, I felt like, had a lot more potential because we didn't know enough about her. I felt like with Willow, we knew too much, but she really wasn't anybody other than, I'm obsessed with this baby. I have baby rabies, And that's not healthy. With Sasha, there was a little bit more potential, especially with like her scenes with Carly and Lucy, and that scene with Ned, her defending Lucy. I like that, but I think that's to the point where it's like we like Sasha, so we will care when she dies. But I see this as an end, because I was kind of thinking maybe with Valentine, but then it was too fatherly with that scene, and it's like, oh, good, we're actually going to go with him and Anna finally. So. Yeah, where does that leave Sasha? Dead.
I'm sorry, I just found out the Lakers won a championship. That's why.
That's why there's fireworks. Yeah.
Of course, that's why it's all going off right now.
Yeah.
Haywood said it, then I just found out on the phone the Lakers just won. So they weren't sure they were going to win, so they won. So I'm not into basketball. I don't really care, so I don't know. But congratulations to the Lakers, I guess. Yeah, anyway, so that's what I'm like, because it's really loud right now. It's really loud behind me. I'm like, what is going on over here? Yeah, it's scary just saying no. So that's going to Lakers just won. Okay, that's what's going on.
Yeah, it is Inglewood. You got to worry about those.
Yeah, yeah. So be careful down here. Like it could be an actual gun going off. So I'm in my house. But anyway, so yeah. Sasha is a character. I love her. She's beautiful. The actress is beautiful.
Yeah.
She's a lot of potential. And I think you're right. You guys are both right. It's going to be this thing of, we caught in the crossfire of all the shenanigans that are going on with Cyrus and Sunny and all that. I'm just like, oh, dang. So yeah, it's gonna be really crazy. So I'm sorry. Now I'm completely like,
yeah, thrown off.
They're so loud. Like I can't even hear myself. I'm like, oh my god, what's that? It's kind of crazy. I can lose my train of thought. Luckily, it's towards the end of the show anyway, because we talked about it already enough. Did I miss anything? Did we miss anything in the show? I think we caught everything we caught up on everything, I think, on General Hospital. I think no stone has been unturned, right?
No.
Yeah, I can think of.
That's your showcase. Now, this week, I have no idea. Someone brought up in a chat room that will they have shows this week? Are there some confirmation hearings happening or something? I have no idea. I guess we'll all find out.
Hopefully their show. Whether I have to watch it on Hulu or not, I don't care. Just please, anything other than this.
I know.
Like they say, there's a 24-hour news cycle. Why do we have to interrupt TV?
I agree with that. I was like, why? It just makes no sense nowadays. This is not 1983. I mean, I told you there's like 3 networks. So it's just like now we can just show it over here. So I'm like, just put it to C-SPAN. I put it on C-SPAN and then watch it all day long. On C-SPAN 2. I don't know.
Yeah, some of us prefer to watch a different channel. I don't like the reality show that is our life, but I'll take it Port Charles any day.
I don't watch the reality show that is life either. I just choose to watch some episodes of Cougar Town. So that's all I've been doing recently.
All right. I love me some Cougar Town.
I do. I love it.
Imaginary hat.
Yeah, I love Krista. It's on the site. Anyway, so, but yes, I've been doing that mostly recently than watching what's on regular television. I'm like, it's a little too much for me. But yes, so Geraslo. So if there's episodes, we'll be back next Sunday again at 6 p.m. 6 Standard Time here on JLJ Media, bitches. No AfterBuzz TV. It is not there. Nothing's happening. You go over there, nothing's happening. There's nothing new happening. So you go over there, you won't find us. We are here, and again. You guys have made the GH shows my biggest viewed, most viewed shows here on the network, and so I'm just very grateful to you guys for doing that. It's been wonderful. I mean, we like doing it, and we've been doing it for you guys, and you guys have just been so great to us. So thank you. Continue to share the love. I want to give a shout out to all the GH Facebook groups. Let me share this on their pages. So thank you very much. Let me do that. Frank Moran, where can they find your dead, cold inside self?
Find me at the Hollywood Forever Center.
Exactly, cemetery.
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie.
I like your beard, Frank. I'm really getting into it. I like it.
Really? All right. Thank you. Well, we're workshopping it still.
Well, you work it out, see how it feels for you, see if it works or anything.
Try it out. Jr. I can't do it. I can't pull off the greatness of the James Lott Jr. facial hair, but
right. I love it.
Me neither.
Thank you. Thank you.
Get it waxed. Get it waxed. And where can they find? Griso, of course. Where can they find you? Do it, girl. Do it.
Well, since I'm Lucretia Lyon, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
Only one, bitches. And you can follow us on JLJ Media everywhere across all social media platforms. We're on YouTube under JLJ Media. Subscribe, and you can see all the episodes and other things. I have 30 shows on the network, of course. And Mistletoe Road is coming November 30th. We finished the first episode. We recorded it. I'm very excited. It's a Christmas series. It's going to be 6 episodes, and that is coming out November 30th. I'm so excited. Forever and a Day, which Lucretia Lyon is on, we'll be doing a Christmas episode coming out December 18th. So Christmas on JLJ Media will be happening. And who knows, this show may do some little Christmassy on this show. Who knows? I'll talk to Frank and Lucretia, see if maybe we'll dress in Santa Claus or something. I don't know. We'll see what's going on here.
I'm down. I love wearing costumes.
Me too. I don't know about Frank, but I like wearing costumes too. So
I'm gonna put a lot of coal in a lot of storylines.
Oh yeah, like that Batman trailer.
That's right.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
I know.
I like to say, Batman with the nipple costume. I'll be happy. And then you can also follow me. We're all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. That's right, kids, on all the platforms. Please stay safe. Please be careful.